Welcome to the Chameleon Breeder Videocast. My name is Bill Strand, and I'll be your host as we explore the fascinating world of chameleon captive husbandry. Today, we're going to talk about picking up and handling your chameleon. When we humans love something, we like to hold it. It's just natural to us. But chameleons are from a different world. Deep in their DNA is a message that anything bigger than them will eat them. I mean, it's worked for 100 million years. Why change now? Well, because some hairless apes decided to invent a concept called being a pet. And thus, we have just one of many culture clashes between our mammalian pack mentality and their reptilian, very loose social structure. I'm sorry to say that most chameleons are not going to look forward to being held. Here are just a couple examples of chameleon language saying they are not in the mood for being out. Gaping, puffing their bodies out, running away. These signs of feeling threatened should be respected, but there are some things we can do to make handling time much easier on them. The key lies in having them move on their own volition. The most basic technique is to simply place one hand in front of your chameleon and slowly herd him with the other hand onto your waiting hand. Here are some things we want to avoid. Grabbing our chameleon. Chasing our chameleon around its enclosure. Finally, 3. Coming from above and behind him. And just to clarify, we really don't hold our chameleons. We have them perch on our hands. The only time you would want to enclose a chameleon in your hand is if you have to medicate them. We will go over that situation in an upcoming episode. Most chameleons will just sit on our hands, and some will want to trek up to the top of our head, which is the highest point available to them at the time, and we know that height is security to a chameleon. Some of you that have larger chameleons may notice that their claws hurt. Blue here is a Cluma parsoni, also known as a yellow-lipped Parsons chameleon. His claws are so powerful that when I hold him in my hand, I may come away with some blood spots and scratches. Just him holding still can be quite painful, but you don't have to go to a Parsons chameleon to feel this. Some adult male Camaleocaliptratus, the veiled chameleon, or Furciver pardalis, the panther chameleon, can easily leave their painful autograph on your skin. A perching stick can be a perfect way to bring out a large chameleon. There you go. Oh, please, please. Thank you. What you do with a chameleon when he is out is important. This is a strange and scary experience for him. Notice that I'm moving slowly and calmly. I'm not doing any quick or jerky movements. You can do the treadmill if he is antsy, but this is not playing for him. Chameleons don't play. I know you would love to believe that they want to come out and play, but that just isn't what a chameleon is. Take your chameleon out for short periods of time to study him and share the fascination with friends. At some time, you may run into a chameleon that is showing signs of aggression. The shyer that chameleon, the more likely you will be greeted with a gaping mouth full of sharp teeth. To show how to pick up a chameleon that is prone to biting, I've asked Briana Kammer of Kammerflage Kreations to help demonstrate. Kammerflage Kreations is our community's most experienced panther chameleon breeder, and they have had to deal with some chameleons rich with character. I asked Briana if she would select a panther with the typical type of bad attitude that any of us are likely to run into. You ready? Let's watch.
Hi Bill, how's it going? This right here is an adult male Ambelobe panther chameleon by the name of Gigavoni, which means Old Yeller in Malagasy. He's a really good example of an animal who is a little bit aggressive, as he's kind of displaying for us right now, but also very shy and fearful at times too. So right now he's a little bit bothered. He was just approached in his big cage and doesn't really care to be spending time with me. So he's making that quite clear, and I'll try to respect his boundaries the best I can while also showing you some techniques on handling him. So with an animal that is a little bit more on the aggressive side, when handling them, I like to offer a flat surface for them to crawl around on. That way we're not giving them a finger, which might be a great thing for them to take a hold of with their sharp little teeth. And so that's how we handle them when they're on our hand. And I'll put him here and we'll kind of see what he does. Poor guy. So we don't want to approach them from above. That's an obvious no-no. And what he was doing right now is he's defending himself. It's a very threatening thing to approach from above for a chameleon who in nature, they're trying to avoid things like birds, which are flying overhead. So it's very natural for them to not really appreciate that kind of thing when being approached. So instead of going from above like this, we want to offer a hand below their chin, again a flat surface because we'd rather not be bitten, right? And then we want to coax gently. I usually just kind of like pet the base of the tail a little bit to just try to encourage them onto my hand while also eliminating as much stress as possible. So he cooperated really nicely right there. It's not always as easy, and I've had my fair share of panther chameleon bites, but he's a great example of aggressive and also shy. So that's Giga Phony, and thanks for spending time with us today.
There were some subtleties in what she showed us. There was a marked difference between where she placed her herding hand. Up here was a serious threat. Down here was just an annoyance and a motivator. I asked Briana to repeat her demonstration with a younger and less aggressive animal. By getting a juvenile that is more prone to run, we can see the typical treadmill type action you may need with these chameleons when you handle them.
Hey Bill, okay, so now I have a young no-se-bay panther chameleon who is a little bit shy, not super aggressive, not like the bigger ambelobe that I had out earlier, and the same kind of rule applies to handling a younger panther chameleon. We don't want to approach from above because that's kind of scary, and we do want to give them a flat surface to crawl out on. So let's see if he cooperates with me. I will give him a hand, and then there we go, pretty easy. So and same thing, you just want to give them a nice flat surface to crawl around on, and they typically will keep going if you give them somewhere to keep going. When you approach them in the cage, the same rules really can apply. Sometimes they're a little bit more difficult to get out when they are in their cage because that's their territory, that's their bush. So we need to approach them gently, but sometimes instead of just having our hand in there trying to gently coax them and going all slow like how we kind of want to, it's better to go swift but move very softly, and that way we can get them out of the cage without having a little game of chameleon hide and seek go on for 25 minutes, because that can be quite stressful as well. So this is how I like to handle younger panther chameleons, pretty similar to the adults, and thanks for having us.
If you want to know more, then it's time to discover the wonderful world of podcasts. On the Chameleon Breeder Podcast, episode 80, I go deeper into discussing handling. It is the companion to this video. Until we meet again, keep hungry for growth. Our knowledge about these modern day dragons is certainly respectable, but nowhere near complete. If you want to know more, then just stick around and join us on this journey to know the world of chameleons better. So climb aboard and let's see what we can discover.